We back. Sorry, what were you gonna say? Interrupting you first thing.
It's okay. Yeah. We're back.
We're back with another episode.
I always feel like it's so weird now without the headphones on, because in our last studio we had headphones and here we don't, so it feels like when we're talking it's just like
awkward.
Yeah. Not awkward, but it feels weird. It feels different for sure.
But typically also if we're like having a conversation, like chilling and just talking, we always have like music on or something. So
Exactly. So it's just you and me and our tranny voices.
Oh.
Welcome to Trans and Transparent. Today we're back with another episode.
Yes.
And we're going to dive into a lot of different topics today. We're going to talk about this, that, and something else. Find out by continuing to listen.
Yeah. Buckle up. You're in for a fun ride.
We're going to have a good time.
Tell me how much you love me. Tell me you'll never doubt me. Tell me how much I change your life. Say you can't live without me. Tell me I make
All right.
you lazy.
I'm bald.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. How do you feel?
I mean, it's double-sided.
Okay.
I feel so
Like a dildo?
Double-ended dildo. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So it's so freeing, and I feel so free. Like and also like gender euphoric from just like touching my head, and you know, when I'm just chilling and I just feel it, and it's like there's no hair there, besides the buzz, obviously, which feels so nice. And I love like my girlfriend touching it.
Right.
She had such a nice reaction as well. She was super like.
She liked it.
She liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that was
nice.
nice.
You had a great time after, didn't you?
I'm kidding. Actually, no. But it was still nice. And then, you know, there's barely anything I have to do, like, to get ready. Like, even less now compared to before. And
Which
also,
is crazy.
Yeah. And also, it's never gonna look greasy. It's just gonna be there. Right. And I just have a little bit of, like, clay, or what's called, like, wax. Clay. Is it called clay?
Wax,
yeah. Just have a little bit of that in it, and then I'm good to go. I don't even need to put that in, which is also nice. So that part has been amazing. I just feel so free, like a bird. And then sometimes when I look at myself, like I'm still not used to it because it was 2 days ago.
Right. That's
so true. You know, usually when you get a haircut, like short hair, it takes like a week or two until you like get into it, or until it feels good,
feels natural,
like, exactly, like
usual.
Regardless of what haircut I'm getting, you have to let it marinate a little bit, you know. So I'm not there yet, so it's still like shocking in a way to see me. And I'm especially when I like tonight I had to go pee in the middle of the night, and I went to the bathroom and I just forgot for some reason that I shaved my head. And then I just looked at myself in the mirror like, oh my god. I just like get like jump scare of like some bald man in the mirror, you know.
You know what's funny? I had like literally, I think it was 2 nights ago or something.
Yeah.
I had this dream where I
had a dream.
I had a dream that I woke up and I was bald. Really? I did actually, and I was like,
that's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was the same day that you got.
Damn.
So we're spiritually linked.
Yep.
Connected. But
also like the night before I got it, because like I said last episode, I went with my friend, and we planned like the day before, like let's just do it tomorrow. So it was a little bit spontaneous, exactly. Even though we planned to do it sometime, but not a specific day. So that night I was just like, I've been waiting to do it for months. So that night I barely slept anything because I was just like excited, but also so scared of doing it. And then when I eventually fell asleep, I just dreamt like weird shit that we went to the barbers and then like had to wait in line, and I don't know, it's just like dreamt weird shit. And then I woke up like twice during the night, and then I woke up at like 5 a.m. I was like, I can't fall back asleep, so I'm just gonna go up. So I just went up at that time. So that was weird. But then, you know, also at first when I saw myself after we've gotten the bus cut and we walked out of the barbershop, like looking at myself in the like windows, like my reflection. I was like, what the hell? Who is that? I look like a skinhead.
No. But I don't feel like that. Like your hair is not that short.
Yeah.
You still kept a little bit of length on the top.
Yeah, which is nice. I wanted to keep a little bit more, but anyways, then, you know, I've let it try to get used to it a little bit. So I'm liking it more and more, but still like feeling myself seeing it from different angles is also a bit weird because I've never seen the back of my head. I've never seen what the shape of my head looks like. So that's been a little bit weird. I don't love it because I don't have like a perfectly round head. I have a very small head. So I've just been thinking about that. And then also like I don't really tick any of the boxes for a buzz cut. Besides I have a smaller forehead, basically.
What do you mean? What kind of boxes? What do you mean?
Because I watch so many videos and they're always like, oh, if you're going to get a buzz cut, you need to have like a super sharp jawline. You need to have like a big jaw, and I barely have a jaw. Or like,
not to barely have
if
a
you
jaw.
don't have that, at least have facial hair.
Right.
Which I don't have either.
It's starting to come.
Yeah, a little bit. I think that would make it look so much better if I had like a beard with this to like, you know. And then also like having clear skin, having a good round head.
Right.
Like all these things. But you know, I honestly I didn't care, and I don't care because I just wanted to do it, and I've done it. I'm happy I did it.
Yeah.
And it feels nice.
You're a part of the club now. The buzz cut club.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. And from now on, I'm gonna grow it out a little bit. And you know, I'm not the kind of person who wants to have the same haircut for a long time because I get tired of it. You know, some people, they have a buzz cut 24/7. You've never seen them have anything else.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, because I'm like, I want to try different things. So from here, I'm just going to grow it out. I can have so many different hairstyles after this. And then maybe something in the future, I'll get a buzz cut again, you know?
No, why not?
So yeah, I'm happy that I did it. I think the barber did a good job as well. And yeah, I know people are not happy with it. Or some people are, but not everyone.
I mean, the comments have been crazy.
Yeah.
I went and looked because I was a bit curious. I saw that you did it, and I went in to check like the response, and I was like, oh, people are on it. But it's very funny. But I feel like, you know, I like it.
People are like, you went from Kid Connor to Eminem.
Oh. Here's the thing. Let's talk about it. Why do people always feel the need to compare people to other people? Why can't you just be Benji?
True. That's true.
Like, you're just Benji with a buzz cut. It's not like you're Eminem all of a sudden. You can't rap like that.
How do you know?
Maybe you can. You want to give us a show? Brr.
I was going to try, but I'm like, I can't. Yeah, that's true.
Knees weak, arms are heavy. Bottom spaghetti.
Bottom spaghetti?
Bottom spaghetti. That sounds horrible, actually. Let's not go there. Oh, no. Ew. Bottom spaghetti is wild.
I'm itching my head, but it feels so nice.
Yeah. Also, if you're listening to any platform that does not have video, we now have started with video podcasting. And for those of you who have seen it, lovely. Keep going, keep watching. If not, maybe you should get on Spotify or on YouTube, because that's where we have video now. Yep. So just wanted to put it out there.
That's true.
Little plug for ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, about the comments, like, I like it to a certain degree, but when it's like too dramatic, too many people saying that they hate it or that it doesn't look good, then it crosses the line to just being mean. I feel like, because it's still my hair, it's my choice. If you prefer me with long hair, that's completely fine. I understand that. It probably fits my face shape better, but I mean, it's already done. So
yeah, exactly.
Like,
what are you gonna go? Like, what are you gonna do? Go to the barber and be like, hey, so do you still have my hair that was on the ground?
Just glue it back. Fuck, I was gonna ask you to take the wig with you that we talked about.
I forgot about it.
Yeah,
that would have been hilarious.
Because we talked about it last episode that you got a wig for free that was very
teeny tiny,
small and short haired.
Yeah,
and black. So now would be a perfect time for me to try.
It would have been hilarious.
But we can do that next.
Yeah, I'll bring it next time. Next time we're recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now we can move on from my hair.
Yeah.
Please.
But I will say, it's nice and it feels nice. I touched it earlier.
Yeah, feels nice.
Yes, it
Like
does. You used to do that on me all the time before when I had short hair. So
Yeah.
it's payback, revenge.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah.
satisfying though.
It is. It's so satisfying. It feels even better on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah,
Actually.
right? Actually.
Yeah.
I can kind of miss that about having short
Mhm.
hair sometimes, like that feeling.
Yeah. It's so
It's
nice.
very satisfying. But anyway, we're going to
Sorry.
head in to
Huh?
our next subject. Are y'all ready? Are you ready to rumble? So one thing that I was talking to my friend Biana about the other day, we kind of got into a little bit about like talking about jealousy and I guess like comparing yourself in the trans community specifically, but then also like in the queer community in general. And like just in general that it's very easy to do that. And it's very like easy to look at somebody who's like farther along in your transition or whatever and just kind of, you know, compare yourself and kind of find things about yourself that you don't enjoy that maybe they're farther along on or whatever, or maybe they genetically were
Gifted.
luckier on, you know?
Yeah, because I feel like it's very common to compare yourself to cis people a lot, which is also like painful. But at the same time, it's not really like you can't really do that because you're not cis.
Exactly.
So sometimes like I follow so many trans guys, and as a trans content creator myself, I compare myself to so many other people I see online, like especially when it comes to like facial hair or just like face shape, voice, like how their body looks specifically as well, especially when they've been on testosterone for so many years and they've been able to like build more muscle. My voice has disappeared. And you know, they've been able to build more muscle and have more like fat redistribution and like had top surgery, even bottom surgery, you know. And I'm like, oh, I also want that. And even like comparing myself too much makes me just feel like I look like a woman.
Right. And I feel like that's so common. Like I also catch myself like in certain scenarios, let's say, you know, on a day where I'm not all glammed up, like I'm not glammed up per se the way I am, for example, when we're recording on a day to day, because I just don't have the time and energy and effort to do it, even though I would like to. But, you know, working full time, it's hard to kind of do that all the time. And it's also like kind of taxing on my skin, for example.
I
like
get
I can't shave every single fucking day, like it's too much. But then I see other people around me, you know, I'm surrounded by a lot of very, very beautiful trans women, for example, who might be a little bit farther along in my transition, in their transition than for me and mine. So then it's oftentimes I'm like, ooh, I feel like a man right now. And that's just my own dysphoria getting to me, and that's the own like your own feelings about
it's
it.
not the truth.
No, exactly. But it is such a common thing, I think. And I've noticed a lot of trans people do that. And in a sense, I feel like it's so unfortunate because also there's no, it doesn't help. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's just going to hurt you in a sense as well. And it also doesn't get our community anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Like if anything, we should just like help each other, lift each other up and support each other without comparing, because you're on your own journey in your own timeline.
Exactly.
It's not fair to you to compare yourself to someone who's further along in their transition or who just happen to have other genetics. And typically, like, maybe some trans guy looks at me and he's like, oh, Benji's so fortunate to be tall and have those genes. But then I might look at that person and be like, oh, that person has really nice facial hair and I don't have anything, instead of thinking about what we have like going on for ourselves and thinking that, you know, every day you improve in some kind of way, whether that's getting closer to getting on hormones or if you are already on hormones, you're going to get small changes every single day. And if I think about myself like pre-T, I would love looking like or being how I am now today, and just not complain, you know?
Exactly.
So yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, but it's just also like, I think it's just a very complex thing because it has to do with a combination of like insecurity, dysphoria,
Yeah.
and society's pressure as well, like put on trans people. So it's like I understand why people do compare a lot. Like it is a very easy thing to do because there's so much pressure to look and act a certain way as trans people. And I feel like it is getting better, but it's also like we have a lot of eyes on us right now. So it is, intense sometimes. And those feelings can be really hard to like kind of negotiate to navigate.
Yeah.
And I think like we just have to try and like work on it as a community. And I feel like it is also something that our community, like trans people in general, do struggle with. I have to say, because I notice this a lot with other trans individuals.
Yeah.
And I definitely can tell when a lot of other trans girls, judge me or judge other trans girls around me. And I'm just like, why? There's no point.
Exactly.
Like, who cares?
You were once at that point yourself.
That's the thing. Because there's this, have you heard about like people calling people bricks?
No.
It's just this thing that like a lot of people will call each other like, oh, you look like a brick.
Like people in general or trans people?
Like trans people.
Oh, no.
And usually it's like, it's usually like queer people to trans people or trans people to trans people. Like, oh, you look like a brick. Or like,
What does that mean?
Like you look hard. You look rough.
Oh.
Like you're not soft and smooth and feminine kind of.
So for a trans guy, it's positive.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I've never heard that.
But no one would ever use it in a positive way.
No, I get that.
But like, for example, no, I've just heard that discourse a lot online. And I'm like, well, baby, everyone starts somewhere. I'm sure these girls who are super passing and la 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 la, they also started somewhere.
Yeah,
it's not like
exactly.
they're just started like that.
Exactly.
Let's be for real.
But like sometimes I can get so envious and jealous of people who realized that they were trans at an early age and were able to transition early, like before they started their first puberty.
Yeah.
Because like earlier today, actually, I got or I saw a TikTok from a trans girl who started her transition where she came out when she was 12, I think, or started hormone blockers when she was 12. So she like...
Does she have freckles?
No.
Okay, it's a different one then. But I think might have seen the same one.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just scrolled past it after. But I was so shocked and like, damn, if I started hormone blockers when I was like 12 and then maybe testosterone when I was like 16, like I would look so different today. Not that I'm not passing, but like I just still think about it sometimes. And I've seen a few like trans guys also who were able to transition really, really early, and they have like no hips whatsoever. Like they look like any other cis guy, you know? And that's a complicated subject in itself, like when you should be able to transition.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, like I just sometimes just, not that it bothers me because that's so good for those people.
For sure.
Like I'm so super happy for them, you know? But I'm like, I also wanted to.
Yeah.
Or I wanted to, but I didn't realize it yet, which I guess is on me.
No, but I feel the same. Like I can definitely feel the same way and look back and I'm like, damn, why didn't I just realize earlier? It would have been so nice. Because also like, you know, I can tell with these girls, like they just, it's a different vibe, you know? And there are a lot of things now that take a lot more energy and a lot more time to fix. For me, for example, my transition, that would have been nice to I wish I could have started earlier. However, what I do love about transitioning later in life, and this is something I try to see it in the positive way, okay? And what I think about is the fact that like I did not have to go through like high school and like school transitioning. I feel like that would have been so tough mentally, and I think people would have been a lot worse. So I think
that experience would probably have been worse
Yeah.
for us, because we still, or at least still had like good high school years, good years in my school. I wasn't like, I didn't feel dysphoric at the time, you know, and then have to deal with that, you know. So yeah, that is a good thing actually.
So in that sense, it's been nice because, you know, I can do my transition at my own pace, by myself, on my own, and not have to worry about that. And like, you know, at my job, for example, they're chill. And if anyone were to have a big issue, well, I'm an adult. I can handle it. It's a different thing. And it's not like I'm forced to stay there. Worst case, I could have just gone somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So that part's nice about transitioning later in life, I feel like.
Yeah. You know, for me, it's also nice because if I did transition when I was really, really young, I wouldn't have the same platform that I have now, because I've been able to fully document my entire transition for other people to learn and, you know, be inspired.
Right.
Which is obviously a good thing. So,
yeah.
And I don't want it to sound like I'm not grateful for where I am or how I look, because I know I get a lot of comments where people say that like I'm transition goals in some way when I look at other people and think that. So I guess it just makes me realize that none of us are ever going to be like satisfied if we don't just work on it like mentally with ourselves and like work on confidence, find things that makes us feel like gender euphoric, and just know that, like, appreciate what we have going on for ourselves, you know, instead of just comparing, because whether you're trans or not, you should never compare yourself to other people in any way at all. So that's just never a good thing to do, even though it's hard to avoid, like, especially when you're trans and see all these cis people too.
Yeah.
And you feel like maybe something's wrong with you, or if people are gonna clock you, when really it's just a lot is just in your head, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And also I feel like in our community as well, like, the world is already so hateful and so spiteful towards us that it's like, it's important to also be there for each other in a community. Like, I really try, when I find somebody around me who's maybe newer to transitioning, or even somebody who's, you know, been transitioning for a while, I try to value and love and respect and appreciate the things that, you know, are fab about them.
Exactly.
And like try to give them praise for it, rather than think about, oh, well, I don't have that. And just kind of understand that it's always going to be stuff that you have to work on for yourself.
Exactly.
And not try to tear somebody down as a result of that.
Yeah.
Which, that's just my one, like, I really hate when other people do that, when they like tear each other down instead of like try to be strong as a community.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we already have, like you said, so much hate coming at us. Then, you know, we need to support each other. And especially like when you are pre-transition, when you are like maybe even haven't come out to anyone, you know, at that point where everything just feels like shit and everything sucks.
Exactly.
Before it starts to getting better, that's when you need people or someone to help you and support you.
Exactly.
More than in any other time in your transition. So, no.
So we're there for each other.
Yeah.
And
we're here for all of you.
Yeah. If you're watching, if you're listening, you know, we got you.
Yeah.
I really want, like, that was important for me when we started this podcast, that it's a space for everybody, not just people who are like super passing or whatever. Like, if you're new to transitioning, this is the perfect place to also feel comfortable, explore, get to figure out things about yourself. And like, we're never going to judge you at all for being one way or another. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's important as well.
Exactly.
To keep in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of, like, you know, early transition phases and when you're pre-hormones, you know, I just remember how shitty it feels. And I just remember trying to find information on how to, you know, survive or how to just be able to wait. Because obviously I knew that at some point I'm going to start hormones and testosterone and I'm going to feel better. But waiting was just so difficult. And when I watched a lot of like pre-transition tips or like pre-T tips, a lot of it was like, oh, it's gonna get better, just wait, you're gonna get there, which is good, but in my head it wasn't really helpful in the moment.
Yeah, and also I feel like, I mean, not everybody necessarily wants to medically transition either. Like some people want tips to help get to the point where they want to be without necessarily the hormones, because I feel like a lot of people just rely on the hormones, whereas when you transition there's a lot more that goes into it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you also have to wait for a long time.
That's
maybe
so.
You don't have a supportive family, you can't come out, you can't like be yourself fully. So maybe you have to wait like for that reason as well. So we just want to cover some tips. If you're in that phase right now, or if you're just wanting to try different things to explore your gender and see what gives you gender euphoria.
Do you have any like number one tips? Like what's your number one tip for passing? Or for maybe getting more to a masculine state?
I'd say honestly clothing. Because with clothes you can do a lot, and I'd also say like working out, honestly, but that takes a long time to get to where you want to be. So clothing is like something quicker you could do or experiment with to also get gender euphoria. And if you don't like if you can't afford to like buy clothes online and just like change your entire wardrobe, you know, you can always go to like a thrift shop maybe and see what they have. Like usually they do have nice pieces sometimes, especially if you go to a like better thrift shop. And then otherwise, you know, if you have a friend, maybe for example if you're a pre-T trans guy and you have like a brother or a male friend, or maybe even like a dad, like anyone you know who has like masculine clothing, you could ask if they have anything that they don't want, because people always have a bunch of clothes that they don't use and just never take the time to get rid of, basically.
For sure.
So you could always ask, and then usually get a bunch of free clothes to try on, see which colors work for you, see which type of like fit works, like with a t-shirt for example. Typically I recommend having something that's a little bit boxier to the fit, so not something that's oversized necessarily, because that's just going to make you look smaller and sometimes appear even more feminine in some cases. Obviously wear whatever you want. These are just like tips.
Yeah, for sure.
And then something that like stops around your hips and doesn't go over your butt, because otherwise it can enhance your hips a little bit if it's too long or like too short. So try to find something that's like hip length, wide shoulders, and like a smaller neck, because if it's a bigger one it's gonna make your neck look skinnier.
Right.
And then when it comes to pants, like it's typically a bit harder to find pants, especially if you are like pre-T, maybe if you're a bit shorter and you want to have like masculine fitting pants. Some stores have like that you can tailor them and make them shorter, which is nice. Otherwise, you know, just you can cut pants yourself. Like if you go to a thrift shop and you find nice pants that fit you around the hips, but maybe they're way too long and you don't have a budget to like get them like
tailored.
Yeah, exactly. Then just cut it up yourself with the pair of scissors.
Yeah, honestly. Get creative. DIY it. Like,
yeah,
honestly.
exactly. And like try different jewelry, like also colors. Maybe a hat fits you really nice. Stuff like this is gonna, you know, help you find your style, and also help you find something that fits your body type and make you look more masculine. And also, if it's not super fucking hot outside, layering also helps a lot. Like finding a nice like bomber jacket or a nice like varsity jacket. Usually they're a bit thicker, make your upper body look a bit wider, bigger.
True.
Compared to your legs and hips. Or like a zip hoodie. Like I said, nothing that's too oversized, because it's just gonna make you look small.
Yeah, but nothing too tight. I feel like
Yeah.
It's a good you have to find a good balance between like
Exactly.
a little bit of a bigger fit, but not
Yeah.
necessarily oversized, but also not too tight either.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, good luck.
Yeah.
But I feel like those are definitely like really good tips.
Also, like a darker color or something with a graphic
Mm.
is also nice to cover up if you want to cover up your chest, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, binding also helps with dysphoria.
Mm.
Trying new hairstyles, haircuts,
Mm.
like scrolling on Pinterest. Not too much though, because sometimes you can end up comparing yourself to all these
True.
like
That's true.
perfect looking people.
Yeah.
But still finding like a haircut that fits your face.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not get a buzz cut unless you want to, because I feel like if I would have gotten a buzz cut before I was on testosterone, I would just look like a bald woman, or I would feel like a bald woman at least.
Got you. Yeah.
So I mean, for some people, I've seen people pre-T who have a buzz cut and it looks great, but I think
It depends on the person, I guess.
yeah, exactly.
A lot.
So experiment, try different things.
You can also try like one thing I've been thinking about is, for example, with haircuts, you know, there are different apps where you can try on like different looks or like different haircuts or whatever if you put in a picture of yourself. I've seen some people do this and, you know, figure out what works with your face and your shape. Like, because everyone has a different type of, like a different face shape. Everyone has a different body shape. So you have to kind of like work with what you got and figure it out as you go. It takes time. Also, like, don't pressure yourself into like having it figured out after one day. Like, really understand it might take time to figure it out, but every day it's going to get easier and easier and you'll find more stuff that you like. So don't be afraid to like experiment there, I would say as well.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to, you can try to experiment with like maybe making your eyebrows a little bit darker. Or you could try minoxidil if you want to get a little bit of facial hair if you're pre-hormones. Usually that works a little bit to get at least like a teeny tiny mustache. Maybe that definitely helps a lot with passing. You could do voice training. There are a bunch of videos on YouTube of exercises you could do to try to speak in a lower range, frequency, whatever. And yeah, also, like I said, working out definitely helps. You could start with like at-home workouts, and you don't even need weights like to begin with. Eventually you probably need some so that you can progressively overload, which means that you add more.
Come on, fitness coach.
Add more like stress to the muscle so that they can grow. Otherwise they're just gonna stay the same.
So they can grow.
So they can grow.
Yeah.
Grow.
Yeah.
But if you want more help, apply to my coaching on benjylifts.com. Yep. Those were my tips.
Yeah. Those are some great tips, honestly.
Thank you.
I feel like when it comes to like passing more as a trans woman, it's kind of like some people are very, very blessed and don't have a lot of facial hair. But for the girlies that do, one of the biggest things to learn how to do and to really like get into is making sure to learn how to color correct, and just makeup in general. Like makeup can
What's
make
color correct?
So color correcting is basically using a shade that kind of hides the underlaying shade. So for example, in like when it comes to passing as a trans woman, a lot of people have a 5 o'clock shadow when you shave. Like even if you shave, you're still gonna see the, you know, your beard or your mustache underneath. So what you can do there is you can take a red color or like a peach color and you put it on those areas, because it's going to cancel out the darkness, like the blue and darker tones in the actual stubble. And what that does is basically when you cover it with foundation after, it's going to cancel out the color underneath more. So it's not as visible through your foundation, because otherwise you need a really, really thick foundation if you want to cover it without it, depending on how, like, what you're working with before. But that's like one of the most important things. In my opinion, like I feel like makeup is something that as a trans woman you should learn how to do, just because it's going to help. Like at least for me, it's my, like when I don't wear makeup versus when I wear makeup, I feel so different. Like when I have makeup on, I'm like, I can do anything. I could do
I can take over the
anything.
world.
I could. Like, the world is my oyster and I'm ready to claim it. No, but literally, like, I feel like a different person.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane. And I'm not saying that you have to wear makeup to pass, and I'm not saying you have to wear makeup to feel good about yourself, but I'm saying it's a very good tool if that's something you want to do. My goal, however, has always been to eventually, once I've had laser and electrolysis and to just, you know, wake up and feel pussy kind without the makeup. But for now, it's a very good help.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, makeup and learning how to do your hair, for example, and growing out your hair are like some of the most important and like the easiest ways to kind of progress in your transition when it comes to passing as well, if that's your goal. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, put a lot of time and effort there. Like, maybe you can practice doing makeup at home before you're about to shower and just like try different things, see what works for you, see what doesn't. And like, I know a lot of people start like off the go. As soon as they start transitioning is when they start learning how to do makeup. So then that's a really good time to just experiment, see what works for you, see what doesn't. But also, yeah, clothes are for sure also a big thing. Finding like what works for you and what doesn't. Like when I go out, for example, I love a good little mini dress because I feel very like, you know, it hugs my body in the way I like it to do. So there could be like tighter clothing, or, you know, wearing a bra, finding a good like bra that will lift the girls up a little bit, or at least give an illusion of having a little bit of breast tissue, you know, stuff like this. Like, doing these little things can help a lot. Another thing that helps a lot is like learning how to tuck, which is basically just, you know, taking the crown jewels, snatching them back and snatching everything back and tucking it up with a very tight panty, or some people use tape.
Duct tape?
Yeah, or not. No. Well, maybe. I think they do.
Really?
I think so. I don't use tape. I'm never going to use tape. I would never use tape. So for me, I'm a tucking panty kind of girl. I actually have a link, or I actually have a code for people who want to get into tucking at Tuck It Up. And my code is just /Hantiro, like my Instagram handle, where you get 10% off. So if you want to get a tucking panty for a little bit cheaper, you go ahead and check it out.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, I bet you will.
Tuck up the cornichon.
The cornichon. Why not? That sounds horrible.
Yeah. But is it like, I've never seen one, but is it just like a thicker panty with, or
it's kind of like a thicker and also like wider panty. And then the straps are kind of, this company, like Tuck It Up is Tuck It Up. Yeah. That company, they have a lot of different ones. I received some recently, and I tried a bunch of different ones because they have different models, so they kind of look a little bit different. But basically what they do is like, it's very tight underneath, and kind of, it really just snatches everything back nice and tight. It makes everything very smooth. And yeah.
Is it comfortable?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I can imagine it's a lot nicer than doing tape.
Yeah, probably.
I think they're really comfortable. Actually.
Yeah.
I like them. Because I bought a pair of tucking panties like 2 years ago, maybe, from like a random Etsy shop, and they just did not work nicely for me. Or they worked well, but they were very uncomfortable. I remember by the time I got home, it almost felt like I was, you know, like it was very sore. Like it almost like dug into everything. So I was like, no, I don't like these ones. But then, yeah, these ones that I've bought recently, or that I got recently, are a lot nicer.
Nice.
So if you're looking for a very comfortable option, that might be a good option for you. I have the link in my bio also.
Yeah, lovely. Nice. Yeah, also forgot to mention, but packing also helps.
Yeah.
When you're pre-T, just with like gender euphoria, also just passing in general, especially if you want to go to maybe the men's locker room, men's restroom, or just wear it. I just wore mine at home when I was pre-T because I didn't dare to wear it out in public because I thought it was just going to confuse people, but I liked wearing it at home, like in my sweatpants, just to feel somewhat comfortable. Yeah.
I get that. Do you feel like it? Do you feel a difference between? Because I know you've gotten to try a lot of different ones through
Puggers?
Yeah, like through the social media stuff. So I feel like I have a question for you. Do you feel like the difference in like weight and size, does that change how you feel about wearing them a lot? Like, because it must be a very weird sensation walking around with them.
Yeah, I think like a lot of packers are way too big. Because like, first of all, a lot of like real penises, when they're soft, they're not going to be gigantic. Like they're not going to be very long, you know? And also when it's like, it can be very uncomfortable to wear because it's still going to be like in the way. It's still going to be like, you don't want it to be too obvious because then it gets to the point where I don't want people to think that I'm wearing a packer.
Right.
I want it to look natural, just a little detail there, you know? So, but I also don't want it to be too small because then it looks weird with my frame, I think. So I always try to have something that's like medium sized, but then people always like different things. But when it comes to the weight, I mean, you don't really notice it that much. The only thing is that can make a big difference. It's the like fabric of the packer, because some of them are really dense and like hard, and then it can feel like it's in the way, like you have something annoying in your pants all the time. But if it's like a softer, more squishy, movable, soft packer, then it's just going to be there. I don't think about it, and it looks natural.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I can imagine.
Yeah.
And then I would say also like the final tip when it comes to like working on passing or working on your transition, I guess, is like, because this is something that will not change with hormones for trans women, for example, is your voice. So there you might want to, you know, try and look up different tutorials on voice training, for example, or just, you know, kind of like maybe work on the way you say things and how you talk about things as well. Like that can also be very different. So for example, for me, I haven't necessarily done any like proper voice training, but when I'm speaking, I try to think a little bit more like, well, you know, I want to give a little bit more of a softer vibe. So maybe that's something I have in my mind, and I just have started doing it a little bit more, and it's become more and more natural. But that's something you have to like, you know, look up a little bit and look into and see what works for you. But I feel like that can also make a big difference when it comes to passing, or if that's your goal.
Yeah.
Also,
exactly.
I also kind of live for trans girls who don't care at all. I've seen some on social media who have like really dark voices, and I live for that. I think that's so fab too.
Yeah.
So yeah, but if it's your goal, that might be something to consider at least.
Yeah, exactly. I have an app that I actually used a lot when I was pre-T, that you can like record your voice, and then it tells you kind of what frequency you're on to practice. I think it's actually gonna see what it's called, but I think the logo is like trans, so I think it's made for trans people. Voice pitch analyzer, it's called.
Did you feel like it helped a lot in the beginning?
I mean, yeah, at least to try see how to speak in lower frequencies. That doesn't sound too weird, obviously. And I still have it saved, so I can still see, because I did some recordings also when I started testosterone to actually see that, oh, I'm speaking in a lower frequency now, which is also fun to have that saved. So yeah. So yeah, just a little tip if you want to try that. Yep.
That's nice.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. So that was, I guess, just a little bit of a short summary of some different tips that might work, might help when it comes to passing and with your transition. So
it's time for the listener's question.
As y'all know, we
need like a little song for this part, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like we do.
But
a little jingle.
Jingle jangle.
I was just about to say jingle jangle. That was kind of scary. Crazy. Anyway, so we have a little bit of a question here from one of our followers who wrote to us on the Trans and Transparent Instagram. And it's in Swedish, so I'm going to translate it. So if I'm a little bit slow with the formulation of the question, don't mind me. So this person has written, "Hello, I hope it's fine. I write in Swedish. I was wondering if you could bring this up in an episode and give some tips about what I can do about a little situation. My boyfriend is a trans man and we've been together for a year. I've noticed that my dad doesn't really like it that much and is starting to wonder when I'm going to get a quote unquote real man/boyfriend. He likes my boyfriend, but he doesn't think that we should be together. We should just be friends, probably because he's scared that we're not going to have grandkids." And then the person wrote, in quotations, "We don't even want kids." And then she wrote, "And he doesn't really see him as a quote unquote real man, probably because he hasn't started testosterone yet. This, of course, makes me really upset, and I don't really know if I should say this to my boyfriend. I know I don't really know how to get my dad to understand and accept that I've chosen a boyfriend that I love, quote unquote, just as much like I would a cis man. I hope this isn't too much and that you can help me with this."
Right.
A little bit of a long question,
But still nice.
but very nice.
Because I feel like this might happen to other people too. Especially like at least older people, not necessarily old people, but like older generations can have a hard time adjusting and seeing a person for who they are when they're pre-hormones.
Exactly.
And maybe even treat you, if you're pre-T, for example, maybe they treat you as a woman or they misgender you all the time because they're just not as like knowledgeable about LGBTQ things. And you know, typically younger generations have a little bit of an easier time to adjust and say the right name, say the right pronouns. Not everyone, but in comparison to older generations. So I think when or if the boyfriend wants to start testosterone, I think that's definitely going to help for the dad to see him as a real man, you know. But then I think it's really important in this case to just talk to the dad and have an open, honest conversation about it, even though it's probably really, really difficult and easier said than done. But I think it's definitely important for your boyfriend to feel comfortable, and also to just educate your dad. If your boyfriend is going to be around for a long time, it's important that he learns about trans people and, you know, finds acceptance within it. And, you know, I don't know, like, your dad's background or, like, what type of person he is. But if it's possible, just, like, talking about it, saying, like, hey, I've noticed that you don't really treat my boyfriend nicely, or you don't really see him as a man. Could we please talk about it? Could you let me know why you're feeling that way, you know? But I wouldn't talk to the boyfriend about it.
No, I was gonna say I agree. I would leave the boyfriend out of it completely, in the sense of, I think that would be really hard to hear as a trans person. It would not be very inviting and very fun to have that energy around you if you kind of know that about your parents or about your partner's parents. I feel like that would make it worse almost. And also I feel like you have a bit of a responsibility as somebody dating a trans individual to also be an ally and show up for your partner in this situation. Not saying it's on you, of course, like it's a shitty situation, and I know you know, don't necessarily want that to be the case, but I think it's really important, like, to keep in mind that if you're dating a trans person, there's always going to be situations that pop up like this, for example, and learning how to deal with it and learning how to kind of navigate those things is going to be a part of dating that person. So if you're very serious about your boyfriend, then it's good to like have these deeper conversations with your parents, for example, and really try to make an effort to get them to understand, and maybe
exactly.
like,
it's probably gonna bring you and your dad closer together, hopefully. Like I said, we don't know what kind of person your dad is.
No, of course not.
So it really depends, but hopefully that would be the outcome.
Yes.
Outcome.
But I really hope y'all do well together, because I think that's so sweet though, that you're still, you know, trying to figure it out and trying to find information about it as well, and getting advice on what to do in the situation.
Like we said before, if you're dating a pre-hormones trans person, it's investment.
Exactly.
It's probably gonna get even hotter.
Very that. So wishing y'all all the best.
Yes.
And good luck.
That was an okay answer.
Yes, I hope so too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it might be tough, but you got this, girl.
Yeah.
Person. I think you got this.
Person. Yeah.
I believe in you.
Yeah. All right, that's going to be it for today's episode.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for listening. And as always, please follow us on Instagram. Send us a DM if you want your question to be answered.
If you also have any fun stories for us that we can read in the podcast, that would be much appreciated as well.
Yeah, anything like family related or public related or anything at all that we can like have a laugh about or talk about would be appreciated.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Also, please leave a comment, especially on Spotify or YouTube, what you thought about the episodes.
So please let us know also what you think about the video situation, if you're still enjoying it, if you feel more connected to it and everything.
Yeah.
Don't forget to follow us on the YouTube channel as well.
Yeah. Follow us on YouTube.
Follow us on YouTube for the full experience and everything. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. We are about to head out of here and have a great rest of our day.
Yeah.
And I hope
Happy
y'all
Tuesday.
do too. Happy Tuesday.
Love you all. Bye-bye.
Love you.